Hi writers! So I just wanted to be able to talk to you a little bit today about how and what I'm looking for in your how-to stories that you're going to be doing and finishing up. We've been talking a lot about them in class, and I thought it would be helpful maybe for you to see my example and just kind of point out the things that I'm looking for when I'm doing my how-to. So the things that I need to think about are, do I have an introduction? An introduction means the story is starting out by telling me something about what you're going to write about. So my introduction is about wrapping gifts. Wrapping gifts is a way to hide a present. They can be in all different paper and look pretty. In this book, you will learn how to wrap presents. So this is an introduction. You're telling the reader what you're going to be talking about in your how-to story. The other thing that it's really important that you look for is making sure you have your steps of your how-to in order. So you might say some special words like first, then, next, and you're going to tell them in order. And you might have numbers like number 1, number 2. So mine says, first, get a box to put the present in. Next, gather the wrapping paper and cut the paper with your scissors. So if you notice in this part, Mrs. Hoosier has another transition word, and I also have a detailed picture. I've made a picture of the wrapping paper, and I showed the scissors, and I labeled it wrapping paper with an arrow so that the readers know what I'm doing. And it says scissors to cut the paper, so I labeled the scissors too. So this detailed picture for the pages is also an important part of your story to help the reader understand. So I'm looking for that in your story too. The next part says, after that, fold the paper around the box and tape it. So here's my picture of my box and my paper. And look, I even have how to step 3. So I'm numbering it too. Last, you need to put the bow on the present. I use that really important ending last word, and I have another picture with a label explaining it, and that was my step 4. Then the very last thing that I need to think about is, do I have a conclusion? That's an ending. So I said, I hope you learned how to wrap a present. Very short, very simple, but it kind of tells the reader that we're kind of ending our story. And then I have a little picture at the bottom that I wanted to use. After you have all of those pieces in there, the other thing that Mrs. Hoosier you might think about doing is looking at it and seeing, do I have capital letters? Do I have periods where I need to have them? So that Mrs. Hoosier knows that you're thinking about how that should be done too. So I'm hoping that this video will help you understand and better think about how you can make your writing that you have the best that it can be with all of those parts that I just talked about. So Mrs. Hoosier is going to leave you now so that you can go work on yours. I want you to pick your very favorite and do your best to make it as perfect as can be, because next week we're going to record ourselves reading and showing the class our how-to story that we pick. So I want you to have it be perfect and as great as you can make it. Okay? Have fun writing, and I'll see you tomorrow.